100 Football Sports Talk Radio. I'm your host, Logan Landers, and today I'm doing a special look at the NFL draft prospect known as Baylon Spector, the linebacker coming out of Clemson University. So be sure if you enjoy this video here on our Facebook YouTube channel, or if you like the episode of our podcast, if you on any major podcast streaming platform, thanks to the Believe Podcast Network. We're available on anywhere like Spotify, Apple Podcast, iTunes, iHeartRadio. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts, we are available for download thanks to Believe. So if you enjoy it, like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for all the fan interaction that you've been giving us, especially over on YouTube as of late. We recently went over, I believe, 550 subscribers. So we have really been doing good over there. But of course, we can't do without you, our fans. So if you have a prospect, if you have a video idea that you want us to cover, please just put it in a comment of any video. We see all of your comments. We love talking with the fans, engaging with you, liking what you got to give out to us. And we will have it on a future episode. We can guarantee it. So thank you so much for all of the love and support. All right, Baylon Spector, linebacker out of Clemson. Or should I say, he went to Clemson for college, but he's really a Georgia boy. Hometown, Calhoun, Georgia. High school, you guessed it, Calhoun High School. So you got to hope this guy is going to be, an absolute stud in the NFL. We love all of our Georgia prospects from anyone from the state of Georgia. Don't matter what college you go to. But if you're from Georgia, if you went to Georgia for a field trip or anything, we want you to do good because that is where we're based out of here in Atlanta. So, like I said, when he was in high school, he wasn't just a linebacker. He's also a pretty solid quarterback as well. He led the defense with 78 tackles coming out of high school. And then as a quarterback in 2016, he rushed for 788 yards, 13 touchdowns. Also threw the ball for a little bit under 500 yards and a handful of scores there. So he could do a little bit of everything. A very talented guy. Got offers from a lot of good schools, but chose to go with Dabo Swinney and Clemson. And he had a good run there. 2017 didn't play redshirt season. Couldn't see the field. Had to learn the culture, take it all in. And then finally, 2018, the 6'2", 235-pound linebacker got to see just a little bit of action, not a whole lot. His stats that year, 9 total tackles, and that's about it, right? 9 tackles, 5 of those solos, 4 assists. So not much going on there. Then we go to 2019. In 2019, he ramped up a little bit. He got a total of 43 tackles, 22 of those being solo, with 21 of those being assisted, and 2 sacks for him. So we see it gets better and better. He was used in 18 and 19 as more of a backup, someone on special teams also. He's good there, and just someone who kind of could fill in. But then in 2020 and then in 2021, we got to see him finally take the field, a 2-year starter at the weak side linebacker. And he, like I said, he was a good reserve, and then he finally got a chance to crack the starting rotation and get some good play. So in 2020, at the time, a career high 65 total tackles, 35 solo, 30 assisted, one pass defended, and a career high 4.5 sacks. And this is also important, 2 forced fumbles that year. So a very good year all around. Then we go to this past season, 2021, 74 total tackles, 36 of those being solo, 38 being assisted. Another pass got defended from him, and 2.5 sacks altogether, with 1 interception. So overall, just nothing too jarring to look at, but it showed that to him it speaks more to who he is to his teammates, to the media, to the coaches, to everyone, right? In 2021, he was voted as a permanent team captain. Throughout his tenure here, he's also all ACC academic team. Again, he got that honor in 2020, and in 2020, and he's also second team all ACC in 2020, and also like the academic team. He's smart. He earned his degree in marketing, and also has a master's degree in athletic leadership. His father played for Clemson back in the late 80s, early 90s, Robbie. His whole family's pretty much been bleeding that Clemson Tiger blood. And as someone who, isn't going to have the most amazing stats, He's played a ton of football, credited for 1,456 snaps, over 53 total games, with 21 of those being starts. And also another fun fact is he was one half of the lineman tandem with James Skowski, who we did a video on a while ago. The Dabo Sweetie, the head coach, dubbed the Bruise Brothers. So, good hitting, good name there. But some more about Baylon Spector, just talking about him. Like I said, 6'2", 235 pounds, so pretty solid. And he's just, he doesn't do one thing particularly that's just way above all of his traits. He does everything very even, and you're not going to find many holes in his game. He plays fast. He goes with the action. He's smooth laterally. He's got good instincts. He's played a bunch of snaps, so he knows where the ball is going to be at. Good at reading defenses, good at reading offenses, knows where to be, knows where the ball could be at. He can locate it quickly. No wasted motion, right? He's not going to make a bad cut getting there. And he's also, like I said, he's a very smart player. He got the mic at linebacker a lot, so basically someone who can help call the plays. And even though, like I said, he is a little bit on the smaller side to play linebacker, he's got tremendous instincts. There's a reason he's a two-time All-ACC academic team, and also why his peers enjoy his company, why they voted him as captain. Quick to read the runs also. He's got good agility in that aspect. And he's also able to see when the quarterback might be taking off or is going to stay in the pocket. So he's good there. Some things he could work on in the NFL. He's not going to be the quickest guy or the bulkiest, so it's going to be a little bit tough for him to find a slot. He's not going to, he's nicknamed the Bruise Brother, but it's not like he's going to lay major hits. He's just kind of more of a solid tackler who's just going to drive you to the ground as opposed to those big hits that you always see. He also can sometimes get caught in the backfield. He's not the quickest. That can kind of be a little bit tough. Strong linebackers, right? You got to be able to hold your own against running backs, against other receivers, against tight ends. Sometimes he can struggle against that. And then sometimes he can kind of get lost on the play. And what I mean that is he runs around blocks too much in order to get somewhere instead of just kind of running through them in a way. So just sometimes his over aggressive nature, I would say, could be a downfall. But all in all, right, Baylon Spector, a tremendous person, someone that everyone enjoyed the company of at Clemson. The team loved him, the coach loved him, the fans loved him. Fan favorite. They're sad to see him go, but it's time for greener pastures, right? It's time to move on to the NFL, to the next level. I think he's going to be a late round pick. Someone that he would probably slide in well with the special teams unit at the beginning. He could possibly work his way up to a backup role in the linebacking position. But I could definitely see him being a force on special teams, which, look, we always say on the show, right? We always talk about amazing prospects. Sometimes they don't pan out. I'm not saying that about Baylon Spector, but I'm just saying with the hundreds and thousands of draft prospects we've talked about, sometimes they just don't. It doesn't work out for them at their position, so they go to special teams and they become a force to be reckoned with. And most importantly, they stay in the NFL for a longer period of time. The longer you stay there, the more money you get, the more recognition you get, the better chance you have of becoming a starter. So I think that's the route Baylon Spector could take. A late round pick, probably a backup, special teams force. And I hope that he gets to get into some games, show what he can do. And I think he's going to be someone that the locker room, that it's going to be one of those guys, right? Because there's always one of those guys on pretty much every single team, whether it's NFL, college, high school, that isn't the most, I would say, impressive or eye-popping in terms of stats, in terms of certain abilities, but everyone respects them in the locker room and admires their hard work, dedication, work ethic, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that's kind of the role that Baylon Spector is going to take. I think he's going to have a long career in the NFL. I think that he could bounce around from a few teams, but I think that overall, my final thoughts, he's going to be a good prospect. I think someone should take him definitely in the later rounds, and he's going to be a good player to have, not just on your team to help out getting wins, but just someone to help out your organization in a better light. So I think that Baylon Spector is going to be a good prospect. Can't wait to see where he ends up come April. So all that said, if you enjoyed this video here today, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. We go live each and every week on Facebook and YouTube. Also, we have an amazing Instagram account at 100 Yards Football for all of our clips of all of our shows. So go over there and give us a follow, give us a comment. And of course, our podcast with daily uploads, multiple uploads per day. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Overcast. If you have a Google or an Alexa home device, you can say, "Hey Google, hey Alexa, play 100 Yards of Football." We've done it here a few times on the show, and it actually went off with our guy Jeremiah Long. But if you say it, it will work. We guarantee it. Thanks to the Believe Podcast Network for all the hard work they do in getting us out there for you fans to listen to. I have been your host, Logan Landers. Have a amazing, tremendous, awesome day. Enjoy the draft combine going on, and it's going to be a fun time, man. Football, it might be over, the season might be over, but all of us here at 100 Football, myself, Jeremiah Long, Bobby Butler, all of our amazing guests we have on, and of course, representing the 901, Mr. Football Vince Turner, we bring the best and the most football coverage you can think of everywhere, each and every single week. So stay tuned for some more amazing live content. We'll see